Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Guys,
Please come to Jesus.
he's right. It's Good Friday.
Come to Jesus. Everything Jesus finished it on the cross.
So there's a moment
He crucified.
when it would seem appropriate. Today is the day, guys. That's the good news. The bad news is that I've heard whispers that we might not be getting a lot more shouting. Yes, I can't be certain, and I'm going to leave it until we get to horse guards. If we ever get to horse guards, bear in mind there's 1 million people. Oh my goodness me. It's almost like the government announced there's £1 million lottery ticket floating around in central London, and everybody came out to try and find it. Now, I'm hoping you can hear me, guys. What I'm going to do is risk my life by going this way. I'm looking behind me to be careful, because I actually wanted to get a little bit further ahead than where I am now and walk back toward horse guards, but I didn't honestly realise there would be this many people. That's the problem. Plus, it is a teeny weeny bit on the windy side. Not madly so. I was secretly hoping that our little friends would be here with their ball and cup, as they often do appear on public holidays due to the vast numbers of people. But I think that police clean-up, Batman and Robin video, if you haven't seen it, guys, Google Batman and Robin, Metropolitan Police, Westminster Bridge. Seems they cleaned it up semi-permanently, or maybe at least until the summer arrives, because there is no one here with a little ball and cup. I mean, to be honest, there's barely enough space to walk, let alone to scam tourists with little mats. This is utter madness, folks. Look at the number of people there are. The funny thing is, actually, I left from a different location this morning. I left from Sloane Square tube station, which is at one end of King's Road in Chelsea. And it's funny because I thought to myself, like, wow, pretty chilly, a bit breezy. There was no one around. King's Road was very quiet around Peter Jones this morning, which is unusual, I must say, very. So I'm thinking, yeah, hold on, perhaps it's going to be a quiet day, but you know what? No. How did I know? Well, stop later at South Kensington, and oh my goodness me, they've got high-vis marshals controlling tourists coming out of the tube carriage as they arrive and going up the stairs. Natural History Museum, Science Museum, etc. Yeah, that many people at the tube station that they needed a couple of marshals to kind of keep everybody safe. Different world of madness. Oh, police are onto something urgent. I wonder what it could be, folks. I wonder actually if a tourist got shouted at and then possibly complained to the police. I'm going to wait carefully for the bus to stop at the lights. There we are. Got somebody unfurling a huge flag up there. I'm not sure what the flag is in the middle of the... Wait, 1 second. Cyclists coming across. Need to be more careful. Right, let's get ourselves over before this massive crowd approach us. Oh my god! This one I will wait, folks, because it's not worth the risk. I do admire this chap with his little PA system. He's all alone, but he's spreading a fine message on an important day. Well, the police are actually in the... that's interesting. First time I remember seeing that. Look, got some officers actually sitting in the car on the bridge. And you know what? I bet they're there. Keep an eye on comings and goings on the bridge. I think... Yeah, just shouting in my video. Some stupid loud tourist right in my ear. I think that the police there are actually traffic police, which is curious. I can't expect they're going to be ticketing many people and making a lot of cash on the bridge. Let's hope they might have just been redeployed for the day to keep an eye on scammers and other idiots on the bridge. What the flip is going on this morning? I say this morning, I mean, I forgot what time it is. I think we're closer to this afternoon. I'm going to follow my man here in white because he looks like the boss man, and I think it's important sometimes to break the rules if you're going to get across the street without waiting for ages. Okay, so that's a little better. I can't quite fathom why there are that many people on the bridge. It hasn't been that busy since June last year. I'm guessing probably the majority of people going for a stroll or heading over towards the London Eye or the South Bank and or Borough Market for some food, and or possibly further on to Millennium Bridge, St Paul's, the City, blah blah. I mean, it goes on forever. You could spend the entire day walking and seeing multiple interesting things without the need for repetition. As you can see at the moment, the road's pretty clear, so I'm avoiding getting stuck in the tourist squash temporarily anyway. Now, I'm not going to go over towards the phone boxes because the wind is quite annoying. I do like these breezy days because it's crazy hot at horseguards filming in the sunshine. However, it mucks up the audio somewhat. So apologies, folks. And before you all say, get a dead cat, attach it to the phone, I can't, folks. Dead cats need the USB ports. The USB port is blocked by the gimbal. In other words, you can't have it both ways. Stable image, bit of noise. Hold on a second, what's going on? We've now got TSG zooming this way. What is going on today, I wonder? Hold on. I'm not aware of anything more police going that way. Something's up. It's quite a lot of movement, to be honest. I don't know what it is that's up. Oh god, here we go. Now I'm... One second, everybody. Getting myself stuck as everybody tries to go across. And I'm in the wrong position. Oh, hold on a second. What's going on? I know what it's going to be, everybody. I'm pretty sure it's Rolling Thunder. That's what it is. The motorbike, the motorcyclists. Rolling Thunder just arrived in central London, and they're going to go, I'm 90% certain, onto Whitehall. One second, while the lights here are red, let me march across. Hopefully we'll be in a good spot to catch them. A lot of ex-army chaps riding for charity. How did I forget about that? Yeah, somebody actually even messaged me about it last week, completely slipped my mind. That's what it is. Now, it does mean that there'll be a lot of noise. I don't know if that means they will have removed the horses. Oh, there's Colin in the middle. One second, there he is. Is he going to spot us? Probably not. Nope, he's busy waiting for Rolling Thunder, as are we. Oh, here we go, look at this, front row seat, folks. Be lots more. This will just be a forward group. That explains why we've got multiple different military flags above this vehicle. Now, thinking back to last year, I'm reasonably certain that they were fairly quiet going past the horses, but I can't be sure. That certainly explains why we've got the police coning vehicle there. One second, folks. People are just waiting for the bus. It is absolutely packed. Sorry, chap. One second. Let's get through. We've got some super interesting vehicles, actually. Hold on. Let's go and have a closer look. We've got plenty of time, guys. Let me try not to get killed by a Rolling Thunder participant. Oh, wait, the pubs are pretty busy. Got some interesting vehicles. I'll go back in a second. Look, got some veterans over here, folks, having a pint. And why not? It's one of those days today. It's not boiling, but it's it's pretty warm. I have no clue, guys, whether this is going to mean the horses have been even taken off. Okay, so there's no traffic coming this way. Whoa, look at this. Are the vehicles British or... Can I ask, is it a British vehicle or a US vehicle? It's American, yeah? Okay. It's a US... Oh, sorry, my dear, sorry. That's me walking backwards. It is an American vehicle, ladies and gents. I mean, I know very little about these things, so it's always better to ask. It kind of looks like those vehicles you would see in I don't know, Vietnam movies, I guess. But hey, correct me if I'm wrong, people. There it is, magnificent. Facing historic prosecution, Rolling Thunder UK. I was looking, oh hold on, here we are. The D-Day plus 75. Wow, what a thing to see in central London this morning. So they've definitely been given permission to block the road. They probably would have done anyway. Fair play. In all honesty, if you fought for your country, I don't really think you're going to care too much about blocking a road. But I jest, they almost certainly would have been given permission. It'd be very interesting to see how and whether this impacts the Kingsguard today. I cannot remember for the life of me whether or not there was a complete removal last year of horses, gatesmen, shitsmen. Obviously only 50% of that would apply this year. But wow. Gosh. Look at this. I mean, even I could probably drive that one. It's got two wheels at the back so I wouldn't fall off. Fantastic stuff. RF Regiment Association Riders Branch. Wow. Not only that, it's good that everybody stopped here. Why? It's symbolic, folks, because we're right opposite Downing Street. Yeah, right opposite Downing Street. And that explains why the traffic police are out. Now everything's becoming a little clearer. It shows a good day for it. It isn't hot, it's a long way from being cold. It is, however, a teeny weeny bit uncomfortably breezy. It doesn't bother me, but I'm worried that it might affect the audio on today's video. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that there's a good turnout, and there'll be loads more as well. I'm trying to see over to horseguards to see whether or not the horses are off. I cannot see for the life of me. If they are off, they're off. Except that they're actually on. That's right, people. I wasn't sure, couldn't quite see optically. It looked like the boxes were closed, but nope, the boxes are fully staffed. We seem to have arrived at a kind of ideal moment, actually, and I'm really liking the fact that the police presence is very modest. Why? These are people that know how to respect the country they serve for. I didn't think we needed the "for" at the end of that statement, did we? These are people that know how to respect the country they served. There we are. Correcting myself. So that might hopefully put down those constant accusations about double standards in policing. We've seen that there have been double standards in the past, but definitely no double standards today. Which is a good thing, to be honest, because if there were a zillion the police all around these guys, that would feel a little bit uncomfortable, noticing how some other protests are very lightly policed. Good to see everyone from all over the place here enjoying themselves, happy, smiley. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I'm genuinely not only happy but surprised, in fact. Flip me off. the police officer saying to him, when you move on, you've got to wear your helmet. That's interesting. Go on. That's surprising. I don't know what the large fellow said. He's one of the marshals. So I'm not sure if the officer was specifically saying that he personally has to. I mean, he did say when you move on, when you ride on, you have to wear your helmet. I'm not sure if it's like him or everyone. If he's a marshal, I don't even know if he's riding. Interesting, actually, they're in an unmarked vehicle. No idea which branch these officers are. I'm not going to ask them either, because it might be a bit awkward. Oops. Yeah, I'd seen you, but... Actually, a quick question. I noticed the police saying to one of the marshals then that he has to wear his helmet when you guys ride off. Yeah. They're really fussy on it about that. Yeah.
They want to wear their berets, but they don't do that.
Wait, so they actually, so the guys, I'm sure we take the berets off to put on the yeah, a bit of a hard one, that isn't it? But I guess at the end of the day, the law is the law.
Every year they do the same.
Yeah. To be fair, actually, the policing's pretty low level today, considering how it normally is.
Really good. A few of them called up. They love it.
Yeah.
It's no trouble.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, it makes a difference. This is only March protest here. That isn't trouble. Trust me. Have a good day. Yeah.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you, chap. Okay, folks, so fair's fair. As you heard, rightly so, a lot of the retired personnel would prefer to wear their berets. Not allowed. The law's the law, even if sometimes it is a bit of an ass. And on this occasion, it's a major ass. But good to hear that all is well, etc. Oh, bro there in his fancy little toy car. Giving me the side eye. Right, we need to be careful here. We've got cones in the middle of the road, so for the moment I'm safe. Bearing in mind traffic's closed one way. Nice timing actually, look. We're going to get over here, just as these two. Are they going to ride into the yard? That's the question, or where are they going to go? Oh, they're coming to the camera. Hello, horsies. Whoa. The tourists are secretly hoping that they're going to stop the horses and interact, but sadly not, they're off. I did wonder if they go through the front gate, to be fair. Okay, so horse guards, what can we expect? In all honesty, people, I've got no idea. Regimental changeover, as mentioned, so we've got the return of the lifeguards. We'll start at this end, guys. I will not be attempting to ID any of the horses because it is too busy. It just isn't worth the risk of the phone coming out, at least for the moment. Signs are up, beautifully non-straight, as you can see, unsurprisingly. And there are both ways, this way, to my immediate left, and further on to the other end, massive number of tourists, like it's absolutely chocker. But I don't know, and I'm not going to guess until we've seen it, what's going to happen in terms of enforcement. Two reasons for that. Main reason being the last bit of a mouthful that, the last time the lifeguard, there we are, got it, the last time the lifeguards were here, a lot of you were very disappointed, to say the least, that people were not being told to vacate the box, etc., etc. And I got that, I do get it. Regardless of whose decision it is, it's a disappointing thing to see when there's inconsistency. Now, since then, bearing in mind that video was last week, we've had a couple of very, very, very solid days with the Blues and Royals. In fact, borderline flawless. I mean, some of the finest footage and enforcement we've ever seen here in 2 years of filming, to my great surprise and delight. And I think I can speak for most of you when I say you also have been massively appreciative of how strict the guards have been in the Blues and Royals in the past few days. However, as I briefly alluded to when we started the video, I've heard a few whispers that, let's just say, put the shouting into doubt. I will not say anything more than that, okay? And bear in mind they're whispers. So the only way we're going to know is by seeing it with our own eyes here this weekend. This holiday weekend, incidentally. So obviously it's going to be completely packed all weekend. I will try to be here as much as I can this weekend, and we'll get a very good idea between now and Monday about how things are going to go. Bear in mind, Monday will be a blues day again. So what I'm thinking is it will be very interesting and quite controversial if there's not a lot of lifeguard enforcement this weekend. Even the horses agreeing. If there's not a lot of lifeguard, I don't know whether there will be. If there's not a lot of lifeguard enforcement this weekend, it'll be very interesting to see how the blues will be when they return on Monday. In other words, this weekend is going to be a kind of defining weekend vis-a-vis what we can expect going into the summer months and tourist season proper. For the moment, as you can see, folks, not a single person is, I don't know why, but not a single person, despite the queues, is going forward. So let's move ourselves to the chock-a-block end, see if it's any different. Talk about it being any different and chock-a-blocker. Some people with massive rucksacks. Oh, it's not Brabazon, but it's another beauty. Oh. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that. And normally they sort of gesture that. Oh. Okay, so it's interesting. Notice the officer is mentioning that, and she's right, because the traffic's going this way, that people are on the pavement, on the public highway. However, as you can see, where else are they supposed to stand? There's actually no other available space. I'll have a quick look in the yard and we'll come back out again. We're halfway through the hour, so there's no danger of missing what happens with either of these two troopers. Now, the reason I thought I'd swiftly was the word I was looking for, pop into the yard. When I looked through the gate a minute ago and noticed how busy it was in the yard, I briefly got excited, folks. And I'm not talking about a teeny bit of excitement, I'm talking about full-on excitement. Why? Because I thought quite possibly, they might have surprised us all by bringing back a foot relief for Easter. Wouldn't that have been a lovely thing? But no, they didn't, sadly. Nope, no foot relief for Easter. The King's Lifeguards will change today at 11. Problematic, that sign. It really should be removed after 11 a.m, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Unless, of course, you're a tourist with a time machine, in which case it might make sense. But the yard is very busy. Again, it's mainly tour groups. However, a lot of fascination with the MOD police today. Probably because, in all honesty, there's no gatesman or chitsman in the yard. It's a real tough one, actually, thinking about it. Which is the better end of the two? I'll be really careful to get myself on the pavement in a second, guys. I don't want to get squished by this blue bus. I mean, obviously I don't want to get squished by this blue bus. Righty-ho. It looks like a busy one, guys. Wow. Right, so we're in and over the heads of a few people that are already here filming. Trouble is, you've got a lot of tall people today. Look, this gent is very tall as well. I'm just trying to think, actually, which will be the more interesting spot in terms of possible or even probable enforcement. I think instinctively this side, in all honesty. 90% of the issues that we had involving the tourists and troopers in the past week were related to people emerging from the gate on this side. And also noticing the trooper in this box is very far from being a new face. He's a very experienced trooper that actually we haven't seen here for a while. If not, he's got a twin brother. I'm sure a lot of you will recognise this fellow. What I don't remember, as it's been so long, is if he's on it and how much he'll be on it if he's on it. Now we'll slowly work our way forward, guys. It's not going to be easy because, look at it. That's what we've got. Vast numbers. Now, are they going to leave the boxman horse alone?
come back because
I'm not convinced.
let me say
You can say excuse me.
I have to say excuse me to you. You have pushed my backpack.
Oh. Okay, so this young fellow here at the front with the glasses is arguing with another tourist because apparently he pushed his backpack. Interesting. I'm not sure why that would necessitate a major public meltdown, but there we have it. I did wonder actually if you were talking to me, but no, it was the guy with glasses. I mean, I didn't see him push his backpack, but I mean, how can you not push somebody's anything with this many people here? I don't think we're going to have a lot of chance, guys, of having super clear, unobstructed views today. A lot of tall people, obviously, will be here. And arguably more importantly, a lot of bushy haircuts are here, getting into our frame as we film. But let's see how people approach this side of the box. I mean, here we are. There we go. Okay, so enforcement is on the cards, folks. You just saw the lifeguard telling him, and I believe his daughter, get back, move back, whatever, get outside the box. Couldn't quite hear it, but point is it happened. What I can foresee happening today is a tourist or somebody pushing Mikey out of the way. I can see it. You might not have spotted it, but a few people are kind of moving in front under the camera, but it's so tight the way that they're squeezing past in front of me toward the other end there. Yeah, somebody's going to walk into it and then probably get upset with me and push it away. I hope not, but it might be unavoidable in a crush like this. We're way past the numbers of the other day. Oh. Kore, or something or other, whatever that means. What does that mean, guys? See, a lot of groups in the yard are looking into the archways and being very disappointed that they're empty. And thinking back to what happened here last Easter weekend, a very, very controversial weekend it was, in fact. I should have probably actually dug that out and reposted it yesterday. I didn't think of it, because I'm pretty sure that it was during Easter weekend last year that a very large group were thrown out by the police for majorly harassing the gatesman and or chitsman. Okay, so the guy's recovered from his little run in and argued with the other tourists. There he is on the right. Okay, step back is what the trooper just mouthed to the lady to his right. From what I've seen in the last 5 minutes, give or take, I'm starting to suspect that the whispers that I heard are accurate. I'll reserve judgment on that until probably the last video of this weekend, because we need a lot more footage to know. You know, enforcement is still on the cards, but let's just say it might be somewhat more muted than we saw in the past week, sadly. Okay, lady in fuchsia. Trooper's having a little look. It's twice he just told her. And it finally dropped the penny that is. There's another one straight in the box. So she moves her foot slightly to one side, in other words, not behind the white line. Interesting. It's actually annoyingly super warm as well, folks, which is a pity. Why is it a pity? Because you're truly dressed for the 13 degrees it was when he went outside. I'm trying to be careful, actually. There's too many people getting very, very close to the bottom of the pole. God forbid a kid hits their head. I'm trying to hold it up as high as I can, but any higher and we're going to be a bird watching channel.
I know.
Is Bro on the left going to take his chances? What do we think? He's pushing it. I'm really hoping we don't get any dinosaur costumes today. For any of you that missed that, there was a funny moment in yesterday's part 2. It was funny until it wasn't funny, with a kid who turned up dressed as a dinosaur. The only problem is it caused the horse to freak out. Okay, she's back, having listened to the lawful instruction. Yeah, the trooper's really on it. He's looking constantly down at where people's feet are. Luckily, ladies and gents.
Did you count how many times I touched the egg?
I'm just thinking, actually, looking around at how many people there are here, I think the vast majority, that's the bikes are still behind us, of course. The vast majority of people here have heard somebody else or seen somebody else getting told to move, and this is why we're seeing them being a bit more cautious as they go over now. Look. See? I mean, it won't last because it never does, but it's good while it does last. Horse looks super mature as well. No idea which one it is, guys, but hold on 1 second. Everybody's shouting at this end. I don't know if somebody just gone forward and grabbed the horse's reins or what happened, but everybody was like, "No, do you hear that?" Like, "Oh no." I wonder what just happened. There's no one else filming this end either. That's curious. She's right in the box, this one. Interesting. Thought it might have been the girls from Liverpool for a second, but it wasn't. Right, so we know that enforcement's on the cards and everything's under control at the other end, so we don't need to worry about that for the moment. This end's a different kettle of fish. We've got no idea. Quite large groups actually crowding either side. I don't know actually whether or not somebody just went forward and decided to grab the reins or what happened. Very curious, to be honest. But that was quite a chorus of disapproval, whatever it was. Maybe a small kid went over under the horse. And people were saying, "Oh, right, get back." I don't know. Everyone's head turned though. All the other tourists at the other end. Curious. The thing is, with these two groups either side of the box, it means everyone else is not really able to get themselves a picture. I think this bro is frozen on the left. Very interesting that was actually. It's been a long time since we heard a kind of a chorus of whatever it was. Approval, disapproval, whatever. I think he wants to ask the trooper a question. I mean, go for it. Probably will not get a response, but it's so odd actually, guys. Why there was that strange noise. Now the interesting thing is that because of the fact we've got no gatesman and chitsman anymore, the usual suspects congregate on one corner and don't move at all when they're here filming. But I'm hearing some rumours that might suggest that will be changing very soon. So we're back, and momentarily at least, and they're still flooding out of the gates. Now the thing is, we don't know whether or not the enforcement we've seen. This guy, look at this. Another one that the trooper has had to immediately told to move back. That said, he did kind of just march over as out with his horse. Curious but true. So I'm not sure how many that is. 4, 5? I think what we're going to see actually is not total enforcement of the box like we did with the Blues, but I think we're going to see clearer enforcement of the box either side of the horse with the lifeguards. That's how I read it. Possibly not all lifeguards, but that would be my guess. Yeah, people approaching from left or right and stepping over the line, getting closer to the horse. I think the primary thing we'll see going forward, not just this weekend but into the summer, is people being kept away from the horse. Yeah, I think that's going to be the focus as opposed to no one stepping in the box, because realistically, and it doesn't matter whether it's Blues and Royals or lifeguards, realistically, keeping every single person 100% out of that box all the time is impossible. Why is it impossible? Because there isn't enough space here physically for everybody to manoeuvre from the front gate along Whitehall, etc., whilst avoiding the box. And in all honesty, I don't really think it's fair when it's super busy for people that do cut across a teeny bit to get shouted at. In other words, intention, I think, should be the deciding factor. Did somebody intend to march into the box and or take the you-know-what? If so, shout or verbal instruction to remove themselves. If not, a little bit of latitude. I think that's what we have been seeing from the Blues, in all honesty. The funny thing is actually that despite the fact that there are so many people here coming forward and getting pictures on this side and on the other side where I am, the vast majority are keeping themselves way clear of the white lines, which is a positive. It's 1:45. Now, when we hit the moment for the trooper to come out and start clearing the front, etc., I will obviously head into the yard, guys, not only for the dismount, but to see which 2 troopers will replace their colleagues. So we'll get 4, and obviously the 4 horses as well. And this guy's not in the box, folks. It looks like he is, but he's not. He's way plenty clear of it on the corner. The thing is, the actual size of some of the groups here is enormous. Not only tour groups, but groups of family groups that have come out together. So massive groups. It's actually kind of shocking, to be honest. Talking like 30-40 people in a group. So in other words, a full-size tour group with no tour guide. Don't do it, little dude. And everyone is posing just to my right. If I go any further back, folks, to include everybody, we'll basically see nothing except heads manoeuvring themselves along the front here, in and out of the frame. The guy's quite brave actually, having his phone attached to his belt waistband. It's still visible, isn't it? I mean, it's still actually highly visible, to be honest. Oh, they're having a bit of an argument at the other end. Excuse me, we're taking a picture too. It wasn't intentional, but somebody marched right in front. And to be honest, fair's fair. If you were here first getting a picture, then I wouldn't say it's right to get upset, but I can understand the frustration. Oh, here she is actually. The lady that walks in front. Ta-da! And luckily, all the guys that are waiting for their colleagues to turn up behind us for Rolling Thunder are, as you can hear, very thoughtfully turning off their engines while waiting for everyone to assemble. It'd be interesting to see and hear whether or not we go back to like full throttle when everybody arrives and they all decide to set off. I'm guessing probably that they won't do that, because if they had done that before, that would have been enough noise to have led to the removal of the 2 boxmen. Biggest problem right now is the yappy dog. And to be honest, I get it. At least most tourists, in fact, that come along here with a super yappy dog pull the dog away pretty fast. Oh, this gent is going to get himself shout. Oh, he can't decide. He's in, out, shake it all about. This group are sort of playing with the box a little bit as well. I do struggle to understand the mindset of people that bring a dog here and then hang around watching the horses whilst their dogs are busy barking. It's like, huh? Very odd. Step back. I'm still deciding actually whether it's better to stay at this end until we get the changeover or the other end. The scary thing at the other end is that the guy that was staring at the guard on his left is still in the same position staring at the guard on his left. Or our left as we're filming, the guard's right hand side. I'll show you in a minute if he's still there. That's just odd. So the behaviour that we were seeing with the gatesman and chitsman has now moved to the front. Oh, this lady noticed the line. Check the line. And she's right, the line. The reason that's curious at the other end actually is because when it's this busy and you can see that there are hundreds of people here all hoping to get closer to get a picture or whatever, it doesn't take a genius to work out that maybe give someone else a chance. In all honesty. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Wow. Absolutely jam flipping packed. I need to be careful so I can quickly get into the yard and into a decent space, because I've got a feeling the yard's going to be close to completely full up on all sides for this changeover. Bearing in mind it's fundamentally the only thing that really happens after the regimental handover in the morning. Yeah, Bro on the left there, look. Left of the camera is still there. It's about 10 minutes or so now. He's just been standing there, staring. Very curious. I can't quite figure out the fascination. I mean, obviously this is a Pro HCAV channel. We're interested in what we see in the channel vis-a-vis the horses, the troopers and the interaction with the tourists, but in terms of just sort of standing completely oblivious to the, I don't know how many people, what, 100 maybe behind waiting, don't get it. I never have understood that. It's just odd. They're thoughtfully standing back a little bit on the other side. Oh, back to planet Earth, a picture, and then maybe let someone else have a turn or not. No? Okay. I think the police actually might. Yeah, look, the officer in the middle here is having a good look. Because wow, McWow. I'm not sure if you can see them. The officers here are keeping a good eye on the crowd this side. Okay, finally they've moved on. Right, let's see what happens next. Okay, she spotted the box. Right, this tourist, look, he can't get through. Look, they've blocked it with the pushchair. This guy in glasses wants to get through for a picture. Ah, dear. What can I say, guys? The thing is that unless somebody's actively doing something which is either suspected of being illegal, will lead to something illegal, or is illegal, there is no law which says, hey, you can't just stand there for, I don't know, whatever, like hours. This is how the spammers get away with it. I dare say, however, to his credit, this trooper is probably pretty happy that no one's getting into the space. 1 second. I mean, they're still arriving. Look, even more people coming across to join the zillion that are already here. Bikers are still lined up over there, so the traffic's still closed one way. And we've got 6 minutes until the changeover. I think if we're going to get that key spot for the dismount, it might be time in a second. Actually, the police over here have just pulled over somebody for questioning, and they're searching his bike. Possibly unlicensed food delivery driver. The idea that some of you had about there being one or two or whatever, Met officers here to help with the crowd. As I think I mentioned myself in the comments, I think it would be a good change, but on a practical level, I don't think it will ever happen. It's not that they don't have the numbers, because they do have the numbers. However, it's not a priority. And in all honesty, I think there'd be massive public criticism if they saw police being deployed here to deal with tourists that are arguably not committing, well, not arguably, that are not committing any crimes, when there are massive issues elsewhere in London with slow response times when people are reporting actual crime. That's the problem. In other words, it's a perfect storm of mishmash, and it's not even about money or numbers. It's about optics. I think this horse, in all honesty, has had enough. He's like, yep. In fact, he's actually listening to the conversation. However, I have just remembered that I didn't even get a horsey picture of the day, which is a bit annoying. I have to do that for the second, so I'm not getting back in the crush now for the sake of 3-4 minutes. This guy's moved in as well. He was there when we were at this end earlier. He's still in the same spot. Yes, Ignacio, come on. Oh, this guy just handed his jacket to the cloakroom attendant. The only problem is there isn't a cloakroom attendant. He's donated it to a tourist, a Chile tourist. 4 minutes. It'd be very interesting to see actually just how... bro, hello? It's this bro from the other end. He politely said, excuse me. Almost like walking around in a trance, I think, some of the people that are visiting today. Very curious. And, Brozoniac, look, he's just like, yeah. Got a good picture, and rightly so. Nice one. Who's next? Oh, this guy looks familiar. Never guessed actually which city he's currently in with you guys, if you didn't know which location I was filming in. Any wild guesses? Establishment, is it 47 AD? Okay, that's actually news to me. second. I thought that was... Oh, it actually is. Yeah, the trooper. Here he comes. Has just opened up the first box. She was about like, "Ee!" when the horse moved its head. It's not really that scary, but... Ee! Right, folks. Here is the trooper telling everybody, peasant and nobleman alike, to get behind the bollards. That is our cue to escape the pandemonium. Is it packed? I mean, it's not unpacked, that's for sure, as we look around. Right, so let's get ourselves onto the key spot. Right. Actually, I'm kind of wondering if this, bearing in mind we've got no sunshine. Actually, this isn't the key spot. The other end is the key spot, guys. 1 second. I'm going to walk around to this end. That's better. Okay, look, very good team they've got actually now of officers. 4 very familiar faces. 1, 2, 3, and away for a few weeks, but he's now back. 4. Officer on the right is the superb officer who said to the tourists on that corner when they got in Colin's face and assaulted him. What was it? He said like something along the lines, if you don't stop, you can get out, or what? I forgot, but if you don't stop, you can leave. Which is a polite way of saying like, shut the up, or we're going to throw you out. Love it. Okay, so we are right on the corner. Which 2 horses could we see coming out? I mean, if I had my dream choice, rather than in Q10, will that happen? No, it won't happen. But one can be optimistic, folks, because you never know. In fact, we didn't see Q10 in, I don't know, probably 10 months. He's like, London City Walks films on this side, so this is where we're going to go. Okay, so the officers at the front, police officers that is, are shouting at everybody to step behind the bollards for their safety. The thing is, right now, approaching on this corner are a lot of people, so we made the right choice to move. Because the space next to the box is, yeah, a little teeny bit hectic. Right, here we go. Ooh, who's this beauty near side? Hello, horsey. Wants to be a horsey picture of the day, I can tell. Gosh, we're very close, aren't we, Dave? Markings on the face of this one. Wow. I have no idea which one it is, guys, but I'm definitely going to be taking a horsey picture of the day because of that blaze. Broken and spectacular. Wow. So we're in the best spot for the 2 new ones going to the boxes. We're not in quite the best spot for Dismount, but you know what? You can't have it all. That's the way I see it. Here we go, moving a teeny bit. Okay, a haunted box horsey first. Oh, sorry guys, we're a bit too zoomed in. Actually, that's not a bad spot for the dismount, to be fair. They've lined up right in front of us. Is blowing doors on the boxes, but luckily they've been clipped to the chains. Wait, thwack. goodbye to you beauties. Number 1. Number 2. And I believe the Lance Corporal of Horse. Fantastic. Right, I already know, ladies and gents, which end I'm going to film at the front. And the reason I know is that issue that upset a lot of you vis-a-vis the trooper that was not particularly enforcing the box, that trooper is at the other end, in the haunted box. So what we're going to do is stay at this end. And the reason we're going to stay at this end is precisely to avoid that same issue with you getting upset, angry, frustrated, whatever you want to call it. Plus, we can toss in the fact this horse has got a very, very unique blaze. I will get closer, and ideally as front on as I can, not only for horsey picture and the hoof number, but just so that we get to see the majority of what happens on both sides of the box. That's the plan, my dears. Now, I have no idea at all about likely enforcement or lack thereof at this end. It's all going to be done, as it were, folks, by observation. Now, bear in mind, we've only got, give or take, 10 minutes. It should be enough time. This lady on the left is in the box. It should be enough time to see. Yeah, unequivocally, probably not. It'll give a good indication of what we can expect. I'm trying to squeeze through so I'm at the front. There we are, that's better. And this one is in the box on the left. Oh, well, well. I can't say I'm particularly surprised. Okay, Trooper did say don't touch. Interesting. Some of the tourists are giggling a teeny bit about what they're seeing here. And I can understand why, in all honesty. Okay, we're now pretty much right in front, so let me try and get that. This lady in green is also in the box. That horsey picture of the day, guys, and the hoof number. Hoof number first. Done. And what a beauty the horse is, eh? I'm trying to, I like it when they can get the trooper's head exactly between the horse's ears, but I think we just got it. Okay, the phone's going back in my pocket where it's going to stay. Sealed and locked. Okay, she's back, and also back in the bottle. And there we have it. Okay, interesting. Can't say we were not hoping we'd get it. Trooper moves straight up to third gear from first, which was a nice thing to see, in all honesty. So there's me rushing to judgment, guys, as I'm sure a lot of you would have done when we saw that first couple of feet inside the box, but let's hope that is a sign of things to come. I'm genuinely surprised that we got a shout that wasn't exceptionally loud, but it was clearly audible. Very. Yeah. Now you know why I was saying I don't want to rush to judgment until we get to the end of the weekend. Now I think people that are getting, kind of just in the box, like this lady, for example, just walked through it, are escaping the trooper's wrath, at least for the moment. Oh my goodness me. I'm also hoping that nobody decides to hold up their entire credit card information to the camera today. However, if they do, they do. I think it's kind of foolish to walk around like that. The real problem's blurring that as well. It's still processing, which is odd. I guess worse, but I might have to do the entire full screen of that section. these days most people have two-factor authentication, so the chance of there being a problem is very, 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 very small. Being careful, Patriots, you can see this, especially on the left. Somebody's actually gaming on their phone to my left. What a curious thing to do, visit horseguards and then just game on your phone. Oh, the whole family about to move in then. What's she looking for? On that side. I'm not actually sure, to be honest. I really thought she was going to actually ask the trooper a question. The lady behind with the gent on the right.
Aspetta, puoi farci una foto? No, solo la prego. No, se la gente può fare le foto, se siamo noi davanti che diamo fastidio.
There's a meltdown on my right. No idea what the argument's about. What on earth, guys? It's still pretty chocker here. Now, there's a small chance, and I think it is only a small chance, that the trooper at the other end might speak up. Now, what I will do when we're just a couple of minutes from the end, I'll include him at the end of the video anyway, just because we've then got the 4 horses. Okay. Plus, we now know at this end that there isn't an issue with the trooper speaking up. So, massive respect to him for continuing the fine work of his colleagues in the Blues and Royals. Yeah, good thing to see, guys. Brilliant thing to see, in all honesty. Okay. I do love it when I get sneezed on by random strangers. What a lovely, thoughtful gesture, eh? Okay, so here we are. Horses pulled back a teeny bit into the box. Got a ton of spammers on the corner. It's the usual midget Maginot line. And to be honest, it's actually good timing to be finishing up, because I would prefer not to film an absolute lack of enforcement at either end. So we'll see what happens, or not, folks, at this end. Got a good spot, so I think I'll just plonk myself here until the end of the video. Ideally, with a bollard just behind me. Hey, all good? He's on at that end. He's on at that end. Shouted at somebody to get out of that end. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but he did. Yeah, even my phone thinks I'm joking, but you saw it, folks. I'm not actually joking. I'm being serious. We saw it, or we heard it and saw it. Sneezing is just is something else entirely. The toys are actually being really well behaved at this end. They're taking it in turns, casually but politely. Although everyone to the trooper's right shuffling in and out of the box. So having seen what we saw at this end with the first trooper, can't remember how many, several were told to politely get back in the box. I'm more concerned about the little one's safety than, in fact, either side, little whizzes in the box on the left, and the girl. Oh, Easter sacrifice, and he's in the box. Yikes. Close for comfort, no? He's like, I can either give you to this horse or the other one. Which would you prefer? He's like, this one. They're way too close. Honestly surprised the trooper didn't say anything. Not only in the box, but within what? 10 centimeters of the horse? Who's next? Into the final few minutes, guys. I know I've got a tear slowly welling up in the corner of my eye as well. But we don't want to end up with those videos published at 4:30, do we? Like we had yesterday. Bing bong. It's a real pity actually that the clock really has no significance other than actually telling the time. Never mind. Hopefully, guys, it won't be too long before we're standing here hearing that bong and watching the gatesman emerge. Who's next? Our last few lucky punters. Ballerina stepping around the box. So, ta-da! It's my horse. I think actually, so it's perched in its picture. Happens every time though. You're trying to get a picture and somebody walks in front. Always happens here. Huh? I think this bro's going to jump on the horse in a minute. Actually, wait, is it a guy? Yeah, it's a guy. I'm not sure if it's a lady. Anyway, guys, we have reached the end. Sadly.
Move your asses.
That's the best way to do it.
Oh, there he goes again.
Oh, yep, there he's pushing himself back in again.
I just walked straight in front of me.
Goodness me. Oh, he's got. I think he was taking an important message for his broker. He just sold $17 million of Amazon stock with a single swipe. Yeah, he's going to buy the horse with his profits, folks. That's it. And he's off. He's now going to rebuy when the market falls. Anyway, I'm out of here. It was fun. It was friendly. It was pretty chill, but there was consistency. Good to see. Well done, Lifeguards. Back soon, people. Bye for now.